Welcome to the Write It Down podcast at Home Edition. I'm your host, Brooke Murata, bringing you one-on-one interviews to challenge, inspire, and encourage. Today, I just did a short little episode to thank everybody and to just kind of go through a little bit of dating, traveling, all these crazy things happening in my life. So I just wanted to hop on and just say, hey, thanks for listening to all 100 episodes of the Write It Down podcast. Here's to 101 starting now. And more things to come in the new year. So thank you guys for being faithful followers and listeners. And you know what to do. Sit back, relax, and get your pens ready because this is Write It Down. Welcome back to the Write It Down podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Murata, typically bringing one-on-one interviews. Today's a little bit different. It's just me, myself, and I figured I'd stop by and just say, hey, kind of give you a summer recap and everything that's been going on in my life. We just had our 100th episode with Warren Moon. That was so incredible to have him on the pod and his sweet demeanor. And it was super neat to meet him at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in August. This summer was wild. We are in September now, but there's just been so much travel, which is not a surprise to most of you guys who know me. Real estate has also been great. Super pumped about that. What I love the most about all of this is I can create my own schedule and kind of be free and just make connections in whatever endeavor I'm in. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I remember when I graduated college and I was like, I need to go get a job. So I got a job in like the corporate world for 6 months and didn't last. So yeah, this has been a wild ride. There's a lot of like risk when it comes to like running your own schedule and business and income, but there's also a lot of reward and freedom that comes with it as well. And so again, I'm grateful that this has been my journey thus far. Some things that are coming up. So I guess I'll recap of this last summer. Summer was wild. First of all, I went to Australia, which was absolutely incredible, which I don't even remember if I've shared that, but you guys can follow along on my Instagram at bbronchi and see all of the things for that. And then went to I went to California, which was great for Norman Powell and Callie Strong's big event for Understand the Grind Foundation, which was great. And then I literally came home for 36 hours and went on a plane to go to Canton, Ohio for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So that was crazy. And coming up, I'm actually going to be hopping on a plane and going to Europe, which I'm also stoked about. But before that, I'm going to North Carolina for a wedding in a castle in the mountains. So what is life? It's funny because I do feel like my life is 27 dresses. I'm not complaining. I'm actually grateful to attend weddings instead of plan them. So, but yeah, it's been such a wild ride watching all my friends just meet the love of their lives and go on to this next journey and this next chapter in their life. So be heading to North Carolina, then I'm heading to Europe. Then I'll be back home and then we'll see where I end up next. So very, very pumped about those things. People have asked me, or 3 people separately have reached out to me about travel. I've kicked around the idea of doing some sort of like travel agency myself because I genuinely feel like I can find y'all some good deals. And I do feel like some of these travel agents are not finding y'all the best deals, and that's not to like negate their purpose or what they're doing, but I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it because I love a good deal, love to travel. Specifically, I found flights out to California from Melbourne Airport. So mind you, I'm in Melbourne. Orlando's about an hour and a half away, and from the Melbourne like regional airport out to San Diego, $225 round trip, which is like pretty good. To be going out to California. Found cheap flights to Australia, cheap flights to London. And when I say cheap, they're still safe. Like these pilots still have to adhere to like all the rules and like become a pilot and adhere to the FAA and all that jazz. But just some of these like airlines, if you're okay with not the concierge service, depending on how long the flight is, like the one flight I'm taking to England is a more lower airfare transatlantic, which more to come on that, but I'm not going to give away all my secrets, but they just don't serve meals. So I'm like, well, for an 8-hour trip, I mean, that's like a road trip to North Carolina. I mean, I can buy Twizzlers and like beef jerky and binge Netflix for 8 hours. I mean, I can do anything with Netflix for 8 hours. Although Netflix has just done this new thing where they're kicking people off unless you're on the same IP address, which is a huge bummer for people who are sharing accounts. And it's like, you'd think with like $41 billion in revenue a year, you'd be okay if we like kind of stack up on Netflixes and things like that. But then again, I just went to Krispy Kreme to buy donuts for a friend today, and a dozen was $16. I'm sorry, $16 for 12 donuts? It's like $1, like $1 a donut separately. So why all of a sudden does it jump up when you get 12? So inflation is absolutely nuts. I don't foresee it coming down. People ask about the real estate market all the time. What are you seeing out there? So what we're seeing in the real estate market, which is like wild, but we were living in a time specifically in Florida where homes were on the market for like a day. This is about a year and a half, 2 years ago. People were buying homes like crazy. Interest rates weren't as high. And they were doing no inspection periods, or they were doing large appraisal gaps, or buying things in cash and asking over. Those days are gone right now. At least where I am practicing real estate in Melbourne and Orlando area. But anyways, wild times that we're living in. And now homes are sitting for like 27 to like 42 days, which is absolutely wild. So if you're listing a home right now and you were hoping it get scooped up like it did, 6 months to a year ago, like the market's softening when it comes to those things. So it is wild. I don't know how I got on real estate, but that's how many pots are on my stove. So, but anyways, it was about the donuts and all these things. But anyways, traveling cheaper. I had a couple of people reach out to me about certain trips. I had somebody reach out to me on Instagram about my trip to Spain. And I was able to write like a long email. It took me like an hour and a half to write this email. And gave them everything that they should do and like how to do it, blah, blah, blah. And then the same I've done with Australia. And I've also done the same with London. I'm like, man, like I would love to be in the business of helping people plan their trips and book the right things and stay in the right places and know about public transportation and all the hacks, because I did it for you. I learned the hard way. So big fan of that. So if anyone's watching this or listening to this and is like, man, I want to travel, I want to go international, I want to do big things, you totally can. I say my secret sauce is keeping my expenses each month low and to have extra income so that I can go on flights and make friends all around the world, because the world's so big, but also the world's so small. So it's a trippy thing. Anything else really going on in my life? I was going to share some dating stories, but I realized I haven't gone on a date in a hot second. But I have had some awkward male encounters twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row. 2 different people, 2 different locations got followed out to my car. So that's not good. We are living in a day and age where you can't just go ask somebody out in a parking lot because I think that this is a part of a setup and you're going to kidnap me. And can I be kidnapped at 27? Some may say yes, some may say no. I still say yes. And yeah, somebody followed me to the parking lot, asked me out, and my car kind of pulled up next to me. And then the next time somebody said they were watching me in the store, thought I was beautiful, and then asked me out. And again, flattering, but 2 weeks in a row, having some dudes I've never seen before come up to me and try to initiate some sort of date / kidnapping. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being dramatic when it comes to like my fear, but I know what happened, right? So like you have to like kind of follow your gut. And I've been in precarious situations before where I thought a dude was like a good dude and he wasn't. Let's just put it that way. So definitely don't want to find myself in those situations, nor anybody else that I know and care about. So be careful out there. It's the same in real estate. If you're in real estate and you're meeting people online, or you're meeting people, even just referrals, like you need to make sure you're safe, or people know where you are. Maybe go with your husband or your dad or your sister or your whatever. Like go with somebody so you're not alone during these moments, because it is scary. Like life is short, but like I ain't trying to shorten it, like I'm either waking up in this house or his house, amen, but I ain't trying to get kidnapped on the way. And I'm also not trying to get tortured, and like I would never survive in a trunk. So anyways, be careful out there. It's a jungle. We're going to take a quick break to discuss Write It Down's brand new website. You can head over to widpod.com, WIDPOD.com, and see all the goods.
You'll notice a banner at the top of the page that says Learn More. If you click that link, it'll show you how you can support Write It Down. P.S. My favorite part about the website is the lid wall, which is a collection of all the Write It Downs from the show. This podcast is made possible by the 1513 Network, so show the network some love and support by listening to their other shows. If not, just stick with Write It Down, because I'm the coolest, the realest, the illest. Now, back to the show.
So dating stories, dating's kind of been, I start to wonder, is it a me issue? I mean, and maybe it is. And I'm not like ashamed to say that I'm picky or maybe I have horrible taste, because I typically do. I have very, 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 very questionable taste. That is not necessarily something I'm proud of. It's just a taste thing, I didn't like tomatoes forever. Now I like tomatoes. So who knows? Maybe I like certain people I didn't like before. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll stop liking people. I don't know. But the dating scene is weird, a little funky. In 2022. So last year I had a yes year, and I think I went on a date every month of 2022, which is entirely exhausting. Because then you're just listening to stories of people that you genuinely are like, I don't like you. And I literally just went on this date because I need to, I guess. I mean, I don't need to, but I feel like that's the thing to do, is say, I don't know. It's just so bizarre. And then first of all, second of all, third of all the alls, people will try to set you up with people, which is first of all, I'm not for sale. So I don't have this sign on my head that's pick me, because I want to date this person. Or, I mean, I'm not desperate, I don't need people to be throwing people. And I get it. When you get married or you're 60 years old and you have nothing better to do but look at people on Facebook and be like, oh, they're cute. You know who's cute? Johnny from down the street. And then you set me up with Johnny, and I'm looking at Johnny I hate this. And you probably hate this too. But we're doing this because we were thought about. Stop thinking about me. Okay. I'm fine. I don't need to be coupled off. It's flattering, because now I don't know what to say. So when you're like, are you seeing anybody? And I'm like, no, whatever, which I need to just start lying. Then it's like, oh, you know who you'd be good with? This guy down here, I think he's fine. And it's you don't even know him, but you're just throwing people at me because that's what you think I want or the thing to do. No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm fine. Okay. And you also probably don't know me as well as you think you know me. And then for you to be recommending people, this isn't LinkedIn. Okay. I don't need a connection to get me a job right now. I need a safe place and a safe person to do life with. Okay. I do not need to be shuffling through all these emotions of people you barely know because you thought we'd be cute together. And overall, just because we're both Christians does not mean we're the same flavor of Christian. And some people be sending me these Christians that are we're just not in the same dorm room in heaven. I mean, and if we are, I didn't request it. So there are certain flavors of believers that y'all be tossing my way because you think just, oh, he loves God and you love God. Well, great. Because our entire music taste and everything else we do in life is polar opposite. So yes, we need to love the Lord. That's the main thing. But there's other things involved than Christians just being Christians. So goodness, I can't. I mean, I want to say some other things right now, but I don't think it'd be the most kind and come across as well as it would if we were just sitting across from each other and I was talking about my dating life. But let's just stop throwing people at me and hoping one sticks. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm enjoying my life. And, no, I'm not desperate. So I just want to say thank you so much for everybody who has thought of me for a setup or a suggestion. Thank you for the intentions. I'm fine. And to those of you, of those two men that chased me in the parking lot, flattered. I do think there's a different approach. Because I was a little startled. I'm not gonna lie. But again, flattered nonetheless. I just am a little cautious because like I said, I've been in a situation before where I thought a dude was great and all these things. They ended up being a felon and a liar and blocked me and left me stranded. But that's a story for another day. That's probably a more personal story. And who knows if I've ever even shared it on here. I don't really know. So yeah, let's just be careful out there. Let's wait for a couple recommendations. Let's let God do God things. I'm not anti setups. I'm just anti setups that need a ton of explaining. So when there's people like, hey, let me just explain his life story. He has, 4 ex-wives and one of them he's still talking to, but he loves God. Not saying that happened. I'm just saying, hey, that might not be something I'm looking for. Out of the kindness of my heart, no, thank you. So great times. 2023 has been a little different when it comes to speaking to the male counterparts. It is a jungle. I think last year was my yes year. This is my no year, or my maybe year. Yeah, it's just stuff. So I guess I'll just leave that for y'all to ponder. So next time you see me, please don't look concerned when I tell you that I'm single and I enjoy my life. And then you say, well, my second nephew from Arkansas is a catch and loves the Lord. And then I have to go, thank you. Thank you so much. So we're just going to avoid that as a group effort for Brooke Murata's life. Moving on. It's football season, and I just have to say, fins up. The Miami Dolphins, I mean, I know we say this every year that it's our year, but like when we fumbled on the first drive, I literally was like a little nervous. And my dad is the Debbie Downer and is like, we just lost this game. I'm like, it's the first drive of the entire game. He's like, I know, it's typical Dolphins. We ended up winning. My heart was like racing. I'm so proud of them. And I'm telling you, if they go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to be at the Super Bowl and I will be starting a GoFundMe to make that Super Bowl experience lavish. So huge fan, huge excitement. Message me who your team is. I would love to talk sports with you, or you can message me your horrible dating and breakup stories, because I'm sure I could talk for hours about that as well. Also, with traveling, if you guys are really into trying to get some travel plans for like Christmas time or even next summer, please hit me up. I'd love to help you guys out. I also feel like I could save y'all a few bucks. So yeah, I'm really pumped about some of the endeavors going on, and real estate is great. And yeah. Oh, side note, my roommate and I are moving, which is super exciting. We're still going to be in Brevard, but we are moving into a new little place, which is so exciting. We love it. We're hopefully going to move in the next few weeks, so I'll definitely have to update on Instagram. For those of you who follow me, BBRONKIE at BBronkie, I'll update some of the designs and things that we do in this cute little spot as we go into this next season of life. But don't worry, I'll still be in the 3-2-1 for those of you whose heart just sunk because you thought I was leaving town. I will be here. And I will do life with you, and you will do life with me, because you're never getting rid of me, because I love you guys. So anyways, I am really pumped about everything going on. And I just want to do a short little drop by and just say thank you for listening to all 100 episodes. This is 101. I got some things grinding in my mind about how to switch this up. Hopefully going to try and do some more in-person interviews and make that happen, Lord willing, with the right doors opening. And just, it does take a lot of money, time, and effort to get to places to interview people in person, but I do find them to be valuable, and I feel like they're going to really encourage and bless the audience and encourage and bless the guest. So thank you so much for being a faithful follower and listener of the Write It Down podcast and supporting me through all the ups and downs of the last few years. And yeah, as always, love you guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Write It Down podcast. This podcast is a part of the 1513 network. You can catch a variety of shows on their website, 1513.com. If you enjoy listening to Write It Down, please subscribe, share with your friends, and if there's any ink left in your pen, write a review. For more content, follow the fun on Instagram by following at WIDPOD. That spells WIDPod. It's super cool. It stands for Write It Down Podcast, but it's abbreviated to WIDPod. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we will catch you later.